You need to take action for yourself. Okay. So when you take action for yourself, that is when you actually start loving and accepting yourself. You don't like something, you change it for yourself, right? You cannot just start saying that, oh, I don't like, what am I supposed to do now? This never happens with me. I wish I had this. No, you need to you need to really sit down and analyze, how can I take care? How can I change it? Why don't I like it? What can I do about it? Can I talk to the person? Can I maybe suggest an alternative solution? If and there's this graph which says, if you have a problem, if you have a thought, okay, can you solve it? If it is a yes, do you have an immediate solution? If you have an immediate solution, then you suggest it to the person. But if you know the person is not going to listen, do not fret the small stuff. This brings me to my next point, that do not fret the small stuff. Okay. Again, self-love is prioritizing your state of mind, whatever state of mind it is. So how you do that is not paying attention to the small details, trying to let go of things. Let me share something which is very personal. So today morning I made this beetroot aloo tikkis and I thought they will turn out well. Previously, when I've made tikkis, they usually cook well in very less oil, not even shallow fry, like very negligible oil. Today, they didn't turn out well, and I was like, oh, damn, I actually messed up the entire breakfast for them. And what do you say? So the tikki didn't really cook. It started spreading in the oil, and then I added more oil, which made it very oily. So in the end, I had to throw the whole batter, and that made things very bad. But out of the 15 tikkis I made, I still had a good 7 to 10 which were eatable. And then we had it like a chaat. Very simple example, everyday thing. But I'm sure many of you can relate with me on this, right? So this is the small things you should not fret. I fretted over it. I was like, oh yeah, what happened? Now what do I do? So what do I make for breakfast? So immediately what I did was I just remembered that I can make a chaat out of it. So I just made a chaat, added some dahi and save, and that's what it was, like a quick breakfast. Anyways, it was 11:30. So and then we ended up having a quicker lunch. We had lunch at 1 o'clock. Due to lockdown, we are also having a very different schedule right now. So when you talk about self-love, it is you do what makes you happy. You do what is important for you. You need to have a certain level of self-respect. How do you determine this? Is by understanding that what you can accept and what is not acceptable to you. For example, you catch someone lying, you will not accept a person who is close to you lying to you. That is not something that is acceptable. So these are the kind of standards you set for yourself, that you will not compromise on this. Okay. Now it is even the smaller things that we all grow up in life. Well, situation change, we change our cities and places, careers, and then you kind of get disconnected from friends, and then suddenly this. So you try contacting your friend 2 or 3 times, but they're just like, yeah, you send a hi, they send a hi, hi, hello, just to the point. They reply to, yeah, good, okay, no questions asked back. Again, a couple of months goes by and you contact them again and you tell them that can you please contact me, sorry, how are you, and everything. You talk to them, just again you get 1 line replies. After 2-3 times, do you think we should keep trying to talk to connect to them? Do you think if every time it is only you who is sending the message or calling them or trying to get in touch with them, do you think that is right? And do you think they are worth of your time, your worry, your stress, that you're wondering, oh, did I do something wrong? Why she or he is not talking to me? What happened? You keep overthinking, you cause stress, and you are distracted from your current life. Sorry. Do you really think that makes sense? No, right? There is a limit you can do to. I personally suggest that more than 3 times you are getting a disconnect with a person, you kind of stay aloof. If the person contacts you, behave and speak to them in a proper way. But don't go all round. Oh, you will email them, you will WhatsApp them, you will call them. No, this is the kind of self-respect I am speaking about. Self-respect is a form of self-love, right? So you are setting a limit to yourself that, okay, yeah, she is my friend, now she is not this. It's okay. People change, situations change. You can't be the same person every month. There might be something going on. Okay. So try to implement this. Practice gratitude. Create a kind of expectation level for yourself that this is the kind of behavior I will only behave. And don't waste very rightly said, Sonali, don't waste your energy on people who don't need it. Rather put it on you, put it on your family, put it to maybe develop something new of your own. If you like writing, start a blog. If you have some other hobbies which you did not pursue, start doing that. So again, another question I get asked a lot is how does, so I did explain how image consulting fits into this, but how does it actually help you? So in image consulting, I actually guide you. So when you talk about appearance, I guide you based on your face shape, body shape, your kind of lifestyle you live, the kind of role you are into, what kind of career you have, what kind of people you deal. I suggest you a wardrobe option based on all this, depending on your face shape, what earrings and jewelry suits you, and where you can create multiple outfits and create different looks for different occasions. Right now, since only the fashion aspect did not appeal to me, I also am a certified soft skills and etiquette trainer, and I realized that the ABCDE I spoke about, appearance, behavior, communication, digital presence, and etiquette, all of these together bring out the best enhanced version of you, of anyone, right? So I particularly am very passionate about firstly helping women of all walks of life, and secondly more passionate about people who are young, starting from 16 to 16 years of age, because when I was growing up, I did have a lot of guidance from in the form of mama with whom I used to stay for engineering. But there are a lot of things I think that could have been taught to make to be more self-aware, to how to have assertive communication, how to approach any kind of situation, how to be in control of your emotional intelligence, even in terms of the way I look. Because as I said, the way you look affects the way you think and feel, and affects the way others respond to you. So I work a lot with young people, especially from whether they're a student or someone who has just passed college, a fresh graduate, or just starting their career. Especially, I also deal with a lot of young women, or they are entering the phase of get married. So I have one-on-one consultations and separate workshops I conduct for them. Of course, I also conduct corporate trainings for different soft skill topics like time management, stress management, communication skills, body language, emotional intelligence. I also work with a lot of other trainers who are specialized in their own field. And one of my so self-love workshop or topic is something I have actually curated this module because I wanted to reach a lot of people, women, specifically women, because I want them to understand how important it is, and I have seen the positive difference in life. Like I get you can check out my pages and see the kind of feedback women share and how they realize how it's important. And it's never too late to start anything. Okay, you start with small steps, and anything that makes you feel good about yourself and you are doing for yourself is not selfish. It is actually self-love, and it is something that something that will help you live your life in a much better way. So that's it from my side. If any of you have any questions, I am open to taking them now. And I hope that this session has been helpful to you and given you some guidance on how you can start self-love. So in case you're confused as to what kind of, how I can help you, you can be from any walk of life. I also offer a free clarity call where we can understand each other's needs, because I believe everyone needs a customized solution. I do have set modules, but I don't have set content and the way of suggesting to them, because everyone has different needs, is a different person. That is why I always customize myself. So if you are interested, you can always book a free call with me and we can discuss what is exactly that you need. So Sonali, what you can do is if you're following a routine, like if you wake up at 6 to 7 every day, you can wake up 10 to 15 minutes early. You just decided something, chai time is something very precious to you, which I know is for a lot of women, a lot of people, not only women, men and women. You can set aside that is a time you're not really doing something. It is something. It is that I'm just going to have my tea at 5 o'clock every day, and that those 10 minutes are completely mine. Or if you have young kids, what you can do is when they go to sleep, you can try to make them sleep earlier. So after that, instead of you sleeping half an hour, and maybe work on your hobbies. If you like drawing, painting, reading, or you can connect with your old friends. So even talking to anyone helps and keeps you, keeps you connected with yourself. And, it's kind of a refresher in the daily routine life. How do you manage bosses? Often judgmental comments come from bosses. So so this is where assertive communication comes into picture. You need to be right up front. First of all, in corporate world, my personal experience has been have everything on mail. Okay, and when the judgmental comments come, you need to have proof to show that this work is done by you and this is there. And second way, you always need to dress to kill. So I always say this, that previously when I was not much into dressing, and I was happy with the way I was, or so I thought. But once I learned image consulting, I realized that people judge you on basis of how you are looking. They may not know you at a very personal level, but first of all, dress very well, behave very well, kindness always kills person. So, slowly when they realize that you are always behaving kindly to them, even though then that behavior will change over time. Kathy is asking any tips to reduce overthinking, please. So when you overthink, it is because, so you understand why do you overthink. Secondly, you try and understand do you think it is worth it. Do you think overthinking is worth it, right? You do, like I spoke about the beetroot tikki example, and I realized that, okay, out of 15 tikkis, 4-5 went waste, oily, but the 7 to 10 was this. So you don't fret the small stuff because you realize that it is not going to matter 1 hour from now. It is not going to matter to what you say. Is it going to matter to the people? Are people affected by it, right? So you don't overthink. You try to analyze. Does it matter some time from now? What depending on how large the situation is. If it doesn't matter, then you don't think about it. Okay, you put that mind and soul into some other activity, or you move on to the next thought, right? Or if it doesn't even help that much, if it will take some time, it takes a couple of months for you to get into the habit. You can start writing down your thoughts either in a digital diary or a written diary, maybe in pointers, and slowly you will realize that your mind gets accustomed to the fact that it is not really worth it. So you will eventually stop overthinking. I hope I answered your questions, Kathy. Shashikala is asking how a newly married bride adjusts in conservative in-laws. Right. So Shashikala, thanks for the question. That's one of the most asked questions I get because I am a relatively new bride as well. It's going to be 2 years to my marriage now. Just in this. So when you married, now in India we marry the entire family. So when you married, you knew you were married into this, right? One other thing is never letting yourself and your personality go. So it is. I'm not saying that you fight, but you try to mediate and find a middle ground in everything. You also be open to communicating. Try to understand why they are saying this, and maybe suggest it in a more kinder way. So instead of saying, "Okay, why do you do this?" You can say, "Can I?" Ma, if you call your mother-in-law Ma, you say, "Ma, I was thinking if we can take the glass plates instead of the ceramic ones. They might look good." Right. So this is sort of, as I said before also, kindness skills. So you kind of start enhancing and putting these tips, and assertive communication is the very way. Secondly, I will tell you that, sorry, am I audible? I don't know. I got a reconnecting thing. That's why I'm asking. Yes. Okay. I think I'm audible again. Yes. So I was saying that first of all, kindness skills. So you put forward your fourth. Communication is very important in any kind of relationship. Also, you need to understand, Shashikala, or that when you are going into a family, okay, we girls have to adjust a lot. It is a huge change for us, right? So don't think that you're going to learn everything immediately. It will take a time. In fact, from all the other experienced people, my parents and stuff, it takes years to actually accept. So slowly try to understand each person. Set some different time, and you're spending time with that person, talking to them. Trying to understand their custom, and then suggest a little bit changes slowly. Talk to them and show them the positive side of the changes if you want something to change. If they still have certain number of rules, try to understand why do they have them. And over a period of time, it will take time. It is not easy to adjust. It is very difficult. 5-6 people staying in the same house cannot have a same view, cannot have same at all. They're different human beings. So communication, very important. You can also try and understand, try to understand why they are that way, and having assertive communication is the third most important point. So if you want even more guidance, you please feel free to schedule a call with me, and I'll be happy to discuss with you. Okay. I hope I answered your question to some extent, Shashikala. Thank you, Kathy, for confirming I'm audible. Okay, so if anyone else, if there are more questions, I'll be happy to answer them, or you can ping me anytime. So I'll be happy to reply you on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger. So I'll just quickly sum up my entire session. So self-love is important. It is not selfish. You are someone who are always with you. Therefore, it is very important to prioritize yourself, love yourself, let go of self-weakening and defeating thoughts, practice gratitude and positive affirmations. Start with the little things, understand yourself and your state of mind, and understand that you will always be judged at. Every human is judged at, and what is in your hand is working on the kind of personality and the image you project. Okay, but only if you are content with the kind of image you have. Okay. others will look up to you the same way, right? So work on your image, and if you are more concerned about how your personality affects and way you look, image consulting and soft skill training is okay, and I'll be happy to discuss how it can help you individually also. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sonali and Shailaja Mami, for this amazing opportunity. I hope it was helpful to all of you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.